my calculations are correct, when this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're gonna see some serious shit.
Have you ever wondered why the DeLorean has to reach 88 miles per hour in order to travel through time? What's special about that particular speed? Is it some sort of scientific constant? Did the writers just pick an arbitrary, non-round number so that the audience would remember it during the film's climax? Or is it part of a secret code that points to something far more sinister?
You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
To decipher the hidden meaning, we have to study the scene in which both Doc Brown and the DeLorean are introduced for clues alluding to his hidden agenda. To quickly review, Doc sends Einstein the dog forward in time, and then he shows Marty how the time circuits work.
This readout tells you where you're going, this one tells you where you are, this one tells you where you were.
But then the terrorists show up,
The Libyans!
shoot Doc Brown, and Marty has to escape into the past. Narratively speaking, we know this scene is incredibly important to the themes of the film since it's shown to us twice. In fact, the repetition tells us something important. This was all according to Doc's plan from the beginning. Now, it's clear we're in a slightly different timeline the second time around because of the Lone Pine Mall sign, but Doc doesn't change his behavior at all, which must mean the things he did in the original timeline are exactly what he wanted to happen. So what was his original plan? Let's examine each detail more closely. The first time the audience meets Doc, he's experimenting with animals. That's weird, right?
Doc, you disintegrated Einstein.
Calm down, Marty, I didn't disintegrate anything.
Next, he sets the time circuits to 1955.
November 5th, 1955.
In what Michael Dwyer terms an attempt to fix the 50s. Connecting Marty directly from the Reagan 80s to the Eisenhower 50s, he essentially undoes all the progress of the civil rights movement and the Great Society. Doc's plan even entails Marty getting credit for inventing rock and roll.
Your cousin, Marvin Berry? You know that new sound you're looking for? Well, listen to this!
Notice Doc doesn't talk to Marty about meeting Einstein or Copernicus, scientists who he named his dogs after. He certainly never considers preventing the Holocaust or stopping World War II before it began. Look at the dates he does suggest: Christmas,
The birth of Christ?
and Independence Day. That sounds suspiciously like something a Christian nationalist would say. In addition to experimenting on animals, he puts a teenager inside a dangerous nuclear device. People have often wondered, why are these two even friends?
This so-called Dr. Brown is dangerous. He's a real nutcase. You hang around with him, you're going to end up in big trouble.
Just a few years prior to the production of Back to the Future, Stephen King published a book called Apt Pupil. It's about a Nazi who befriends a teenage boy. This story of an older man corrupting a youth was later adapted into a movie, starring Brad Renfro and directed by Bryan Singer.
I'm not touching that one.
Am I saying that Doc Brown is a Nazi?
Yes I am.
First of all, consider his name. Doc says his family came to Hill Valley in the early 1900s.
The Browns didn't come to Hill Valley until 1908, and then they were the Von Brauns.
That doesn't mean he couldn't have returned to the fatherland during the war. If that name sounds familiar, it's because Wernher von Braun was a famous German rocket scientist who later helped the American space program.
This Operation Paperclip after World War II, SHIELD recruited German scientists with strategic value.
And remember this newspaper clipping from the beginning of the movie? Doc burned down his own home in order to fund his time travel research. This is not dissimilar to the Nazis staging the Reichstag fire.
This is more serious than I thought.
And the final clue to Doc Brown's dark secret is the speed of the DeLorean.
88 miles per hour!
H is the 8th letter of the alphabet, and thus 88 is a common neo-Nazi code for
Heil Hitler.
Accelerating to 88 miles per hour.
Heil Hitler.
Heil Hitler.
88 miles an hour!
Heil Hitler.
Hey, Hitler!
88
Heil Hitler. Heil Hitler.
Heil Hitler!
88
Heil Hitler.
to 88 miles an hour. 88 miles per hour. 88 miles per hour.
Heil Hitler.
Heil Hitler!
Heil Hitler.
Heil Hitler.
Heil Hitler.
Heil Hitler!
Heil Hitler.
Heil Hitler.
If that sounds like a ridiculous fan theory that cherry picks certain facts, removes them from context, and ignores obvious contradictory evidence,
Don't be alarmed. That indicates only that you are still sane.
to learn more about the root cause of every bad fan theory, the so-called death of the author, watch this video essay, or just enjoy this compilation of Quentin Tarantino's fan theories. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Happy April Fools.